Diamond FM, radio made for you.
The time is 9 o'clock.
Aago mẹ́sàn-án ti lù.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's exactly 9 a.m. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining us on today's edition of the News Punch, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. This is where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. My name is Bisola, Oduwole, Suleiman, and here are the stories making the waves across the world. In Nigeria, ahead of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan has denied joining the race for the Senate presidency. Lawan, a former majority leader, was elected as the Senate President in 2019 after enjoying the backing of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) for the position. In a statement on Tuesday, Lawan said he did not declare to contest for the next Senate presidency seat and he has not held a meeting with anybody regarding that. According to Lawan, he is part of the leadership of the APC and he will remain committed to the party's position. Still in Nigeria, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has debunked the rumor of an alleged car explosion close to the Eagle Square, the proposed venue for the inauguration ceremony of the President-elect Bola Tinubu on May 29. The police said burning flames suspected to be due to a mechanical fault were noticed underneath a coaster bus heading towards Yanya axis from Maitama, Abuja. This is contrary to the reports making the rounds that a vehicle exploded within close proximity to the Eagle Square at about 9 p.m. on Tuesday night. Reacting to the development, the police public relations officer, SP Josephine Ade, asked citizens and residents to disregard the rumor, adding that the FCT Police Command has continued to intensify the security of the territory in the build-up to the handover ceremony and beyond. Moving on to the foreign scene, thousands of people demonstrated in northern Ethiopia's Tigray region to demand the return of people displaced by a 2-year war there and the withdrawal of outside forces now that the conflict has ended. The war between the federal troops and their allies from neighboring Eritrea and the Amhara region on one side and Tigrayan forces on the other concluded with a truce last November after killing tens of thousands of people. Millions were forced from their homes, including hundreds of thousands from land disputed by Tigray and Amhara, whose security forces and fighters continue to occupy the area. And in the exciting world of sports, the Flying Eagles are set to take on Italy in their second game at the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup with a win enough for them to reach the knockout phase of the competition. Nigeria defeated debutants Dominican Republic 2-1 in their first match at the age grade tournament and go into Wednesday's clash with Italy, knowing victory will see them through to the round of 16 in Argentina. Italy, on their part, saw off heavyweights Brazil 3-2 to top the Group D standing, and a win for either side will confirm their supremacy in the lot. And that's all we have for you on this Sponge. Coming up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we take a look at the analysis of some of the major stories making the rounds. Just stay with us. We will be right back.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the sport spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Yes, it is a Wednesday morning. You're tuned in and listening to Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, and this is the Diamond Breakfast Show. It's exactly 6 minutes, gone past 9 a.m. And every 9 a.m., Mondays to Fridays, we come here and analyze some of the major stories making the rounds. We talk about stories in Nigeria and outside the shores of the country sometimes, as it affects us as a people and as Nigerians. Welcome to the show once again. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman, and I'm your host this morning. We also have our guest analyst in the building this morning, Mr. Olasukomi Toby John. Is a public affairs analyst and a social commentator. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Miss. It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right, welcome. And now, this morning, we'll be taking a look at a couple of stories. While we dissect the stories in the studio with our guests, we also give you the platform to also send in your reactions via Facebook. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Diamond 87 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. Drop your reactions, drop your comments, and we will definitely get to them in due course. In 2016, the Buhari administration launched the whistleblowing program to aid the work of agencies such as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The job of the EFCC is actually one that cannot be done alone. It needs collaboration with citizens and critical stakeholders in the country in order to function properly. But the flow of information by whistleblowers in the country has declined significantly in the past year. In previous times, we always hear in the news, we had this information from whistleblowers, so person and so person have been caught because of the information gotten from whistleblowers. But these days, we rarely get news like that. What do you think is responsible for the decline in the number of whistleblowers coming forward to provide information about corrupt officials?
Well, I think we can actually be specific about the reason why there has been a decline in that, except a research is actually put forth to substantiate whatever is being propagated right now.
Okay.
But what seems to be what seems to be a reality is that it seems most of the smart guys are smarting up too. You get me right, to the point where they now know how to cover their tracks. Their tracks. You understand? Well, one would have expected that for a government who whose major mainstay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about the gravitas is to fight corruption. We'll be cautious about the way it goes about disseminating information. I'm talking about to the public with regards to his anti-corruption fight. So it's so. Let me say, it's disheartening. I'm trying as much as possible to refrain from using the ad word on the government, but we have to be honest with ourselves. There are ways, you understand what I'm saying, to go about this. So we cannot, because if I start mentioning names, I think the list is endless of those who have been arrested. You understand what I'm saying? Whose lead, have been blown. You understand, and nothing has happened to them till date. So this also might possibly be one of the dissuading factor that's prevented people from coming out to fess up about such occurrence. Now, mind you, I hope we all are in tune with what was his name, the current EFCC chairman Bauer did about 2 years ago. He launched a whistleblower policy. What do they call the software application? Thank you. You understand what I'm saying? For prospects to, blow the whistle without being identified. You understand? But I think that is actually designed to, curb the excesses of revealing, the names behind, what's it called,
The
a certain
whistleblowing.
corruption. Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
So, but we've seen that it hasn't achieved much. I think as at the last count, I think less than 1 million Nigerians actually downloaded the application. You get me? Because people have lost that belief that truly this government is significantly fighting corruption. So, a lot of factors can be alluded to that, but we can't say specifically until the research is done with regards to that.
All right. Now, you mentioned the fact that an app was actually created for whistleblowers to be able to, without their identities being made public, being revealed. But do you also think that the safety of these whistleblowers is paramount, is taken seriously? Do you also think it could be a reason why a lot of people are shying away from actually giving information about corrupt officials?
Obviously, we live in society where people get betrayed for the slightest of porridge. You get me? So, like I said earlier, a lot of Nigerians actually don't trust the government. You understand? And major government agencies too, they've been found wanting in terms of disseminating sensitive information to the public. You understand what I'm saying? You can actually find someone like it's just me saying this. I'm not saying, I'm not mentioning anybody. I won't mention anybody's name. But we've had issue of people who go out there, you understand what I'm saying, to reveal the source of their information. And when we're talking about intelligence, what makes intelligence and intelligence, is majorly in its secrecy. You understand what I'm saying? So most times, this blowing is just a way of giving the security agency that lead up. You understand what I'm saying? It's more like it's an intel which they are to work on. But people go out there to betray their source to what's it called, to the public.
Right.
You understand? So that actually makes some people, you understand what I'm saying, to be a target. So as a result of that, a lot of people would want to come out with whatever information they have with regards to someone who is, caught in the act of, mismanaging public fund.
All right. Now let's talk about this whistleblowing program as a whole. Do you think it's a viable scheme?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it would have been a viable scheme if we're in a society where we're in a high trust society. We are talking about a society whereby the people trust the government trusts the people. We live in a society whereby, an average inhabitant of that society believes in the collective. You understand what I'm saying? Than the individual. You understand? So if let's assume the table is turned around, it would have been a perfect policy. But it's so sad that we're in a low trust society. You understand? So as a result of some of these fears which I've highlighted earlier, people find it difficult to actually key into the policy, and that has actually led to the decline of the policy. But if we are to hold the policy, you understand what I'm saying, to its stated value, I think it's a wonderful policy that would have thrived. You understand what I'm saying? If if the security agency also played their part, you understand what I'm saying, in terms of the prosecution and the protection of whistleblowers.
All right. Now, this administration is about winding down, and despite their efforts to fight corruption, we're still deep in corruption in the country. Now, there's another administration that will be sworn in a couple of days. What can they do to support the fight against corruption? Because it is something that we need to really fight in this country in order to move forward. So, what should the incoming administration do in order to support?
Well, I think on most of the platform, we have been opportune to speak about this particular topic. I've always said it. The biggest mistake this government made was to have declared an open war against corruption.
Right.
There are ways corruption could have been fought institutionally. I'm want to say, there are two major ways of combating corruption: the kinetic and the non-kinetic, or the carrot and the stick approach.
Right.
But the fixation on the stick approach, you just go Gestapo manner. You understand? Swam into a prospect, or let me say an accused space, arrest, then make a public show of them, has not achieved anything. It hasn't achieved anything. It has actually empowered this corrupt element, you understand what I'm saying, to fortify their fortresses against the government. We all see how even the media have been weaponized against the government as a result of this. Let's be honest with ourselves. So what the incoming government should be doing differently is this. The incoming government should try as much as possible, you understand what I'm saying, to not state it expressly. You understand what I'm saying? There are ways of fighting corruption. Make it untenable for prospects to actually carry it out. You understand? Then anybody found in the act, ensure they are punished. That punishment will serve as deterrent. You understand what I'm saying? You get me? So, but you know, if the what's it called, subsequent government can actually follow suit, I believe it will reduce corruption to a very large extent in Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Olasukomi. Now, there's something that a lot of people have talked about. Some people feel like the reason why this administration is really announcing it, or the reason why they're putting it in the public eye, is because they want to gain the trust of the public, that they're actually doing what they are supposed to do in order to fight corruption. But now that you're saying that they should keep it silent, how do you expect people to believe in the whole process? But we will talk about that when we come back from this short time out. Just stay with us.
Yeah.
Colors, they add meaning to our lives. From birth and naming of a child.
May your life be rich and potent as the red palm oil.
Colors tell of the feelings in our hearts.
Aww.
Through rainbow-like roses or even bubbly emojis. Colors speak of our distinctive ancestry through the shade of our skin. Colors are in the bright garbs we wear to impress, or the deluxe coat we give our buildings.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
And with our proudly Nigerian deluxe paints now available in any color, express your world however you want it. Visit a Deluxe Color Center to get any color instantly.
Deluxe, let's color.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Welcome back from that short time out. If you're just tuned in and joining us, you're listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. And I still have my guest in the building, Mr. Olasukomi. And we're having a very interesting conversation this morning about corruption, the fight against corruption, the whistleblowing policy, and the like. So I asked you a question earlier, and I would like you to answer it now.
Well, you're talking about making the public show of
Yes.
corruption. Now, this is it. Let's look at what we've achieved with all of the public shows. Jolly Yami and what's his name again? Joshua Darie. Where are they? Should we also mention the man in the Senate who got off the what's it called the justice vices through and if you're talking about the issue of garnering, or should I say mobilizing public trust against, please, let's be honest with ourselves. How many trusts have been mobilized? How many people believe in the government? So making a public show of corruption will not bring corruption to an end. No. What we are saying is, now you prevent corruption, then make prosecution. Make it, what's it called? An instrument of deterrence.
All right.
You get me, right? It shouldn't be, let's just run to the media and prosecute people. No. Let them go through the court processes and let the court, adjudicate whatever they feel is necessary with regards to that.
All right.
So so long as I'm in support of the government for fighting corruption, I believe in my own view that the government has achieved little because it has, succeeded only in making a public show of its anti-corruption work.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Olasukomi. Let's get your reactions. You can send us messages via text or WhatsApp 091-3655-6864. Are you also of the opinion that the government should have a silent fight against corruption rather than put it in the public eye all the time, and ensure that they also prosecute these criminals as at when due? 091-3655-6864. That is the number to send in your WhatsApp or text messages to, and then you can call us on 091-3655-6952 or 08000-887-887 080-00-887-887. We have calls already. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Davis calling from Shao.
All right, Mr. Davis. Good to have you on the show. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, my regard to the death in the house. He has said a lot of things about this issue of corruption fighting.
All right.
One thing I only want to add to what he has said is that the corruption that is being fight by this administration is based purely on sentiment. It is only those who are against these people or who are in other parties that are being punished. That is why it it has been very, very difficult for the government to achieve as much as we expect from them.
All right.
Then on the issue of whistleblowing, the reason why it failed is because our so-called security agents who are supposed to keep the secret of the information or the informant, they were the same people that were diverging the names and areas where they can get all these whistleblowers. It is only well because it is not released. Many whistleblowers have been eliminated. That is why people stop giving information. If it is not only about corruption, when you look at security in Nigeria, the reason why people kept quiet is because even though if you release an information to some of these people, they will still come back and come and tell you that we have returned. So I think the incoming government or the incoming president is to take the bull by the horn and try to down the consequence of any of his actions.
Yes.
Because I always say Nigeria needs a leader who will be a little bit brutal. If not, the powerful element in society will not make him to achieve anything. Thank you, my sister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you for that call. 09136556952. That is the number to call, or send us messages via text or WhatsApp. 09136556864. This one says, "Good morning, House. I agree with your guest this morning. Buhari made a lot of public show when he wanted to fight corruption, and the corruption hit him higher. So I will advise the government regime to fight it silently, or the new government to fight it silently." This is from Isa Mohammed from Ilorin. Then another question is, what do you also think about the whistleblowing policy? Is it something that can work? Is it something that you see as viable in the fight against corruption? And why do you even think we have less people coming out to identify corrupt officials or to give information about corrupt people in the society? 09136556952 888 While we wait for more reactions, let's take this second story. The former Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, has asked the Nigerians to forget his name as minister, to forget his time, I beg your pardon, as minister, as he seeks to become the next Senate President of the Senate. Akpabio has allegations of corruption hanging around his neck, especially with his management of the 81.5 billion naira spent by his ministry. Now he's asking Nigerians to forget about that and only remember his 36 years as a lawyer and his other political positions that he has held. But the little time he was a minister, he's asking Nigerians to, just clean that sheet and look at the others. How would you react to this?
Well, I think it has become, a habit of some sort for our politicians to not want to take responsibility for whatever wrong, they've done. A couple of days ago, I think, what's his name again, from Zamfara State, also vying for the Senate President. I remember his name. It eludes me right now. He also said something similar.
All right.
He was like, when an interviewer asked him about his record, of service, and asked him about how he was able to improve the life of people, and livelihood of people of Zamfara State. He said no, that the anchor should not ask him such question. That was when he was governor. I think these people forget the fact that we can't detach you away from your history. We can't detach you from your history. Your history is your antecedent. If we are to entrust you with any public office, we will look at what you've done, what you've done. You understand, to be able to predict what we should expect from you. But in a situation whereby a Senate President, an aspiring Senate President, is telling us not to, look at his past record, is indirectly, to me, it amounts to him telling us indirectly that he won't be responsible when he finally takes office. So people like that, even though I'm in favor of him, to be honest with you, yes, he is my candidate. I'm in favor of him.
Okay,
but I must be honest.
Because I was about to ask you, should someone like Akpabio even be considered?
Yes, and if you look at all of these allegations, they are unsubstantiated.
All right.
So he deserves his day in court until the court, proves otherwise. Or you understand what I'm saying? We can't, publicly lynch him. for allegations. These are mere allegations.
All right, but should somebody who is in court for allegations be vying for positions like that until the court now gives a judgment whether they're guilty or not guilty?
Let me take
Shouldn't they step down and just, wait till the judgment is made?
Well, I think you are looking at it from, let's say, a Western perspective here. Well, this is Nigeria for you. Now, let's look at what happened when he was governor. I think he was accused of embezzling about 100 million. Was it dollars or naira or thereabout?
All right.
I tell you, the man in question, when he was called upon to come and substantiate his claim in court, he couldn't. He couldn't. There was no evidence to prosecute him. That same man, I think, the last I heard of him, he was being prosecuted too in Akwa Ibom State, and this was when he was governor. That was as recent as 2013 or thereabout.
All right.
So we should allow until the court declares him otherwise. You get me right? We can't actually stop him from or seeking for other political offices that he desires.
Okay. So you feel is right for that position?
Is well within his right, and aside well within his right, when you look at all of those vying for it, I think he's one of the most qualified. Look at it.
What are the things that makes him qualified?
Yes, he was a one-time not even a one-time commissioner under Obong Victor Atta. He was a commissioner. I think commissioner of petroleum or thereabout. You understand what I'm saying? Then he's also the pioneer chairman of the governors forum. That was in 2013.
All right.
He's a minister, a serving senator, a former minority leader. Tell me, who has? Let's have the ball for others. So to the best of my knowledge, if you're to judge him based on his criteria, you understand what I'm saying? You will say he's qualified. But if you not look at his antecedents, because I don't think there's ever been an office, he held to, that he was never at a point, been alleged that he was involved in some malfeasance of some sort.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olaskomi. Let's take more reactions via calls 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Zil. Good to have you on the program. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with the first point to the analyst in the studio, but the second one on our party I disagree.
All right.
Let me talk about the first one. Really, this government, they only praise themselves publicly, and some of us praise them, but they know they have failed even in fighting corruption, because they also brought in corruption apart from fighting corruption. And that's what we have seen so far. So they didn't fight anything. They only pretend to be fighting corruption. The second one, Akpabio as a person should not tell us how to do it. Whatever it is, we will decide. We know him. That's why there's no politician we know in Nigeria that anybody should deceive us about. We know Akpabio very well. Akpabio's antecedents is judging. And that is what many of them don't want to hear. They want us to cajole us with their shenanigans. No matter how you have a good profile, you have been this, you have been that, your attitude should determine your altitude.
Right.
If you are free from allegations, let's not say Western world and Western perspective. Whether Western perspective or Nigerian perspective, what is right is right. You should not be somebody who is corrupt in one way or the other. We see allegations. The way we romance allegations in Nigeria, allegations should not be that you want to go for a position and you have been alleged in one way or the other. You should step down first. Let the allegations be true. But in Nigeria, they don't want to. They still want us to put people there and we still be complaining.
All right.
Let them go and do the right thing. They will win. Fine.
All right. Thank you.
Can I get he said something about, I agreed with him, but he said something about allegations. We've seen situations where people are alleged to have committed what's it called, financial malfeasance or misappropriation, and you get to court, they can't substantiate it. We have the issue of Kemi Adeosun has about even a certificate. It was alleged. The young lady stepped down, and what happened eventually? It's proven that she never lied. Same thing happened to Ibrahim Magun, even though majority of us don't want to hear about him. He was also alleged to have, been involved, sodding his hand. Please tell me, this is a man who has been liberated. He's been exculpated of whatever allegation. So if we are to say because some people have been alleged, or should I say, an allegation has, indicted someone, then they should be, or let off, they should be prevented from holding or from still staying in office. I don't think that would be fair to them. Right. Knowing fully well that in this country where we are, someone can just sit down somewhere and just put a news story online and lie about it. A certain journalist, I want to remember his name again, in Cross River State, accused the governor of misappropriating about 100 million too. But I tell you today, when he was called upon to come and defend it, there was nothing. He couldn't do anything. The man was prosecuted. So we live until we change our attitude as Nigerians. I doubt if we are going to be able to actually have a society where you tell people, someone, okay, we hold people to the allegation. Right. For me, I'm actually in support of, once there's an allegation, prosecute the person. You understand? If found wanting. Otherwise, if we have a system where an allegation can yank you off the office, you and I won't be here talking.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olasukome. We need to pay bills. It is very important. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ara ríro kò sí mọ́, àwọn ká ti sá lọ, àrùnmọ́lẹ́gùn ẹ̀yìn dídùn làkúrẹ́ ìgbé, wọ́n ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí. Kára o lè pé bàmù rẹ̀ àtòrà dáadáa.
Kòkó lára ọ̀tá le. Gbéra ńlẹ̀ kò dìde. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Àtòrà wọ̀, àtòrà pẹ̀sẹ̀, àtòrà dáadáa. Kẹ́gun tó kẹ́gun náà. Kára o yá gágá. Ara ń ronú tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ronú mọ́. Tẹ̀bá ti fi kára o lè pè ń bà rà. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. Tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. Òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. Fi kára o lè pè ń bà wọ̀. Káì! Ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. Action! Ó jẹ́ àwọ̀ká, àròmọ̀lẹ́gun, làkúègbé, ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. Kára o lè pè ń bà lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. Agbára pọ̀, kára ó lè pè ń bá. Tuyi Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Kára ó lè pè ń bá. Ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. Kára ó lè pè ń bá. Ó kì í síbẹ̀.
Kára ó lè pè ń bá mú rẹ̀ àtòrà dáadáa.
The federal government, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announces the availability of COVID-19 and childhood vaccines nationwide. With the disturbing increase in reported cases of COVID-19 infections across Nigeria, protect yourself and loved ones from the harmful virus by getting vaccinated. Visit the nearest public or private health facility and mass vaccination sites today to receive the first, second, or booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are given to persons 18 years and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, while childhood vaccines are given to children from birth to 5 years for protection against polio, hepatitis, yellow fever, measles, meningitis, and other vaccine-preventable diseases. All vaccines are free, safe, and effective. For inquiries, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700 220 1122.
This message is brought to you by the National Primary Health Development Agency in collaboration with the Nigeria Red Cross Society with support from the Africa CDC SLL program.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
All right, welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Lorry. We're having very interesting conversations this morning. Don't forget, we're live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM and YouTube, Diamond FM Lorry. You can still send in your reactions to the two stories we've taken a look at this morning. Mr. Olasukome is still in the building to do justice to our topics for this morning. And we're also waiting for your reactions. What do you think about these issues? What can be done? What is the way forward? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? All right, Dr. Zil.
Yeah, I just want to say that when it comes to apartment or any politician, whatever interest anybody has in them, when it comes to any radio, whatever like this, you should know that every other person that knows them too, who actually want to be neutral about them, will not want to see the same way the analyst is. For example, the apathy of a person and politicians in general in Nigeria, when they are alleged, let me tell you the truth. Most of the allegations, we only say court. What can we also see realistically about them? This same Afadio man that we are talking about, It's not the only government that has ruled the state. Victor Atta was before him. And Akwa Ibom State is not a state that I don't know very well. In fact, I was in that state more than any other state early 2000. And I can tell anybody that when it comes to Akwa Ibom State, when that Victor Atta left, there is no single allegation that anybody can talk about now somehow the way we are talking about Akpabio. Akpabio built stadium. He named it after himself. You can see that everywhere. He also tried as much as possible to see to it that during his ministerial talk, that's why he said they did not talk about it. So everything he's doing, he brought somebody, so that they say for one action.
All right, Dr. Zil.
About me. No, you can't take that.
All right.
The right thing to talk.
All right, thank you, Dr. Zil. Thank you for that contribution. This one here says, good morning. The outgoing government failed woefully in the area of corruption. You just hear too much noise without any conviction because people are not in jail. That is why corruption is just growing every day. How many high-ranking politicians have been in jail? Even the 2 governors that were in jail were released by the outgoing government. As far as I'm concerned, we're not serious yet when it comes to fighting corruption. Thank you. That's Olatinwo from Airport. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, madam.
Good morning, sir.
This is calling back from Shao.
All right, Mr. Davis.
You see, the reason why people like Akpabio are now insulting our sensibility is because the law has not taken its toll. Some people are supposed to be in jail by now. They are not telling us they want to become this, they want to become that. What is the man telling us? Is the past not part of his own history? If there is no past, there cannot be present.
Yes. All right.
Without the present, there cannot be future. The handwriting is on the wall. I'm very sure if this is the same Akpabio with the same character he exhibited when he was the governor, the minister, the same Akpabio that is going to be appointed or nominated as the Senate president, then I fear for the incoming president.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Davis, for that contribution. This one says, good morning, Bisola and your guest. I'm Engineer Gamble from Tanke. A mandatory constitution should be stood on for anyone to take on political post or office. He or she should declare his or her properties before being employed or being appointed into any office. After their duration in office, statistics of his or her properties should be evaluated again. This will ease fast judgment on corruption brought against such persons. More so, we should take out tribalism, religion, political sentiment if we want this country to move forward. Judiciary is the main backbone to help this great country out of corruption and criminal activities. Only capital punishment can make the country great against corruption and criminal activities. God bless Nigerians. God bless Nigeria. And that's from Engineer Gamble. 09136556952 0800-887-887. That is the number to call. This one here says, this is from Kolade Ayinde on Facebook. Money, crime, and social security. Money is a medium of exchange. It means you need to exchange something of value for money. Money obtained without giving appropriate value is called fraud or corruption. Obtaining money by pretenses of fraud is now very common in our country. This is terrible. This is a terrible attitude that cannot grow any society. Money cannot prosper character's deficient society because it would be wasted through greed and wickedness. Sometimes money can be given to someone without direct value. It is called social welfare, gift, or subsidy. This is the major function of government to keep society reasonably safe and free from poverty, poverty-induced crime, hunger, and hopelessness. Okay, this is a very long message, Mr. Kolade Ayinde, but thank you so much for that message. Let's take the next one. I have another one here on WhatsApp. Good morning, Abdulaziz Yari is the name you wanted to remember.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I may partially agree with Senator Akpabio because Nigerians are so dynamic in choosing any point or antecedent in supporting or criticizing politicians, because when we're talking about track records of Tinubu in Lagos, you're saying he's no longer as young as he was at that time. Let's forget about his ministerial position. He was appointed then. Even report is saying now that the university VC embezzled money being released to them by the federal government. The money also kept going on strike and keeping us at home for. Corruption is not limited to politicians alone. Even even those of us calling from home, if we're in public offices in Nigeria, surely masses will accuse us. This is from Abdul Wahid. Ukwoba. Lots of reactions coming in this morning. Let's see if we can take a couple more calls. Then we move on to the final story for the day. All right, the callers back. Good morning, presenter. I completely agree with your guest. You don't deny people the right to hold or contest for an office on mere allegations. State your view and don't disagree. We all see situations from different angles. The law should be amended to allow people to clear their name before contesting before contesting for a position. Okay, that's from Coyote from Airport. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, good morning, sir. Go ahead.
I will continue to pray for this country. We can touch corruption. A blind man can see corruption. You know those who are corrupt. Dangote is a businessman. We know how he made his money. Most Nigerian politicians who are alive, I'm old enough to know how people are making money in this country. Somebody is not a businessman. He just wake up and become something very big, which was against our culture in the olden days. You can call it allegation, but any Nigerian, we know those who are corrupt. The danger is that those who will go to court, there's no how they can lay hand on the evidence. Only the government can supply it, and it will not supply it. Even I'm not saying the president is corrupt. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, well, then coming to Akpabio, for him to have chosen Akpabio, who is always accused of corruption, is not even good enough for the country.
All right.
May corruption not end this country.
All right, amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Bamidele. There's still a lot to talk about this morning, lots of reaction bit, but this is something that might dash the hopes of a lot of people. That is the final story that we will be talking about this morning. After 4 years of Nigerian students flocking the UK for greener pastures, the UK government is to restrict Nigerian students from bringing their families into the country. The UK has been a dream destination for many Nigerians who wish to relocate with their families. With this move, the UK government is about to prevent such moves. A lot of people leave the Nigeria for different reasons or via different means: education, work, full relocation, and the like. So, what are your thoughts about this relocation to the outside the country for greener pastures that we call JAPA in this?
The JAPA syndrome, which some people love to call it, is not an issue that can be overflowed. You get me? You get me? So yeah, like you said, there are so many routes. You understand what I'm saying? But it's been revealed that Nigerians, are fixated at a certain pathway, which afford them the opportunity to study, then come with other dependents.
Yes.
But what research has revealed, according to the government, is that Nigeria, I'm limiting it to Nigeria, but the policy is not about Nigerians alone. It's all of the foreign students in there. Yes. So it's been reported that Nigerians, we have more Nigerians dependent than what's it called, the actual student themselves. And we all, I think we all can actually relate with that. It's quite relatable, So we can actually talk it down. You get me right? I think this policy should be a reminder to us as a country that we have to we have a nation to build. You understand me? Because if everything is working out well, the majority of Nigerians who seek for greener pasture, to be honest with you, those who are leaving using the student pathway, you understand what I'm saying, to the UK, majority of them are not living because of education. A lot of people are living because of the economic realities of in the country. So we need to do more in terms of giving ourselves the sort of environment we want to live in.
All right. Now, this policy is affecting aspiring master degree students and some other postgraduate degrees as well. PhD students with 3 to 5 years are not affected because of the duration of their programs. But what do you think is the long-term impact of this policy on Nigerians seeking greener pastures in the UK through the education route? Because a lot of people, I don't know if that is the easiest one, but I know a lot of people are going through the education route. What is the long-term impact?
Well, I think it's the easiest part, you understand? So long as you have the money and you can prove that you have what it takes to actually sustain yourself all through, you're good to go. So, well, let's say it won't be, it definitely, it will impact, a bit, but in terms of the dependents, You get what I'm saying? Then the opportunity that was available, that's been available since 2019 to date. You understand what I'm saying? For Nigerian students to stay back, in the UK and source for jobs. You understand what I'm saying? Will no longer be there. So what we have now, if you're going for an MSc program, which is like a year or thereabouts, after that 1 year, you have to pack your luggage and be back to your country. You get me? So definitely it will affect Nigerians, no doubt, and it will affect Nigeria as a country, because when you look at the forex repatriation from the UK, you know that you understand you understand the magnitude of what we're about to lose.
Yeah.
You understand? So the impact is immeasurable. Let me just leave it at that. It's immeasurable. It's immeasurable.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olaskomi. Let's take your reactions. What do you think, and what can be done to ensure that we can't hold everybody down? We can't ask everybody to stay in the country. But what can we do to ensure that people believe more in Nigeria? People want to stay back and build this country rather than seek for greener pastures elsewhere.
Well, there's no this issue is there's no one size fits all in this particular one, because if you I don't even know where to start from here, because when you look at education, but you understand what I'm saying, education, look at virtually all of our sectors, all of the I'm talking about what should be our main state sectors in Nigeria, all of them are impacted as a result of the economic doldrums, that we are right now. You get me? So it's very hard. Even if education is fixed and health is fixed and everything is fixed, let's be honest with ourselves. Attitudinal wise, naturally, oftentimes you often allude to the fact that people are leaving because our education is not fixed. I tell you, if all of these things are available in Nigeria, people will still leave. It's psychological. Right. You understand what I'm saying? There's a psychological dimension to it, because some Nigerians, some of us, will believe that it's a status symbol of some sort. You get me? So long as you're in the UK, you can even look at what is going on online, Syria to be precise. The moment you put that flag, you are an authority over diverse field. You understand what I'm saying? So that sort of appropriation will no longer be there. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not on the other side, you get it, right? So all of these things are what we can no matter what we put in place, immigration, Nigerians emigrating from Nigeria. Immigrating from Nigeria, will be very, very. It's not something that can be totally eradicated. It can only be ameliorated, like reduced a bit.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olaskomi. Let's go on this short time out. When we come back, we take your reactions. Keep sending them in via Facebook at Diamond 87 FM, YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin, WhatsApp and text messages 091 3655 6864. Stay with us.
Colors, they add meaning to our lives. From birth and naming of a child.
May your life be rich and potent as the red palm oil.
Colors tell of the feelings in our hearts.
Aww.
Through rainbow-like roses or even bubbly emojis. Colors speak of our distinctive ancestry through the shade of our skin. Colors are in the bright garbs we wear to impress, or the deluxe coat we give our buildings.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
And with our proudly Nigerian deluxe paints now available in any color, express your world however you want it. Visit a Deluxe Color Center to get any color instantly.
Dulux, let's color.
From the studios of
Welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show. Interesting conversations that we're having this morning. The first story is on the whistleblowing policy. Why do you think we have less whistleblowers these days? And what can the incoming administration do to support the fight against corruption? And the second story is on the former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, who has asked Nigerians to forget his time as minister and look at his other antecedents, but forget that duration when he was minister and the things that happened around that time, as he seeks to become the next Senate President of the Senate. And the last story is about the UK's restriction on Nigerian students from bringing on Nigerian students from bringing their families into the country. The only students who are allowed to bring in who would be allowed, I think this policy would commence in 2024. The only students who would be allowed to bring in their families would be PhD students, but master's degree students and other postgraduate degrees would have to leave their families behind in order to go to the UK to study. But that is a jackpot rate for some people. So what do you think will be the impact of this on people who are already planning to japa via that route? 09136556864. That is the number to send in your messages to. And then you can also call us on 09136556952 or 800-887-887. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zil.
All right, Dr. Zil, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, it is better for Nigeria to learn from UK, UK or US, the way to do their thing very well. We copy the bad one, we don't copy the correct one. This distinction is good. Because we can't just be, because Nigeria matter, you did that bad thing, we abuse it. In fact, I don't even know where some people just point out word Japan. Because it starts from evil intention. For me, that word, I don't like it. For me, why do you have to go because you don't want to run away? You want to run away, what you just do because Nigeria is no matter what, your home is your home.
No doubt.
If they don't restrict Nigerians being who we are. We just restricted something and are doing it on attitudinal things. We bring our Nigerian factors to everywhere, and that's why the right of the KK very much was taking it now. We want to also see that these things, we want to allow them their law to take the course. And we don't need to be carrying our family up and down. If they say this is what they want, let us follow it. Let's not say they are better, they are better. After all, we are benefiting in one way or the other from traveling there. So let's follow their law. Let's not say we just want to be the way we do our things there. We need to get serious and begin to do right thing here.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Zil. Now, the fact that Dr. Zil said that they should leave their families behind, a lot of people are not going there just to study. That's just because it's the easiest route for them to japa. Japa means they want to leave the country entirely and not come back, at least maybe for a period of time. That's why a lot of them are going with their families. They're not going because, I want to study and come back home. They want to study and stay there, and maybe they feel, it's better over there, and they want to make more money, have a better life over there. That's why they're going. So this is why it would affect, if somebody is just going to study for 1 year, I don't feel the need to take it, but they want to leave completely. That's why it will be an issue for a lot of Nigerians who are planning to go through that route. So we're taking a look at the impact on them, on their psyche at this point in time, and what can be done at the way forward from all of this. Japa is not something that we want to continue hearing, but it is the reality. It is where we have found ourselves these days. 09136556952. That is the number to call, or 0800887-887. It is almost time to step out of the studio. All right, let me take this one. The UK government has done their net research. They discovered many Nigerians just use the avenue to escape from Nigeria. Do you know lots of people that have earned their degree here still reapply for a degree or diploma program in the UK just to japa and bring their family to the UK? The solution is for the Nigerian government to fix this country. If they do that, people would stop going out. But most of the younger ones have lost hope in the future of this country. Ola from Airport. Let me take the last one on Japa or whatever. Let me tell you the truth. In my own opinion, an average Nigerian sees going abroad as a blessing, even praying for it, not minding going there and doing security or washing toilet with your master's degree. A toilet that is here in Nigeria to wash. Most of those going, ask them if they go, are they going to be more brilliant than you that studied here? No, but they also want to flaunt it, seeing it as a blessing. Talk about strike, doctors, nurses, teachers are always on strike. Please, let's congratulate the Kwara State Governor on his emergence as the NGF chairman. This is from Abdulwahid Olokwoba, and this is where we call it a wrap of the program this morning. We cannot take any more comments. We need to run. Thank you so much, Mr. Olasukomi Toby John, for coming this morning. We really do appreciate you.
It's my pleasure, and congratulations to our amiable governor
of Kwara State. Congratulations to Kwara. All right, thank you to everyone, those working in the background, Mr. Biodo Akimumi and Anna as well. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Shegun. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. Do ensure you have a lovely rest of the day.
The best music on the best station. 88.7.
Diamond FM.
Let's go. This is your radio, your station. The radio station that plays you nothing but the best music.
All you need is Diamond 88.7 FM.
You don't need no other body.
But I told
afẹ́fẹ́ tó kúnjú òṣùwọ̀n ṣíṣe Diamond FM Ìlọrin.
owó nìkan ló lè ṣe o.
ǹjẹ́ o ṣe